Hello and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ronan Chain, your host, and today we have a lot to discuss between what's been happening with two big franchises over the past 7 days. If I play it safe, I think, but I can't do this alone. I got my compadre, Jor-El Alexandra. Jor-El, how you doing, man? You're mute, bro.
What up?
What's up, man? Folks, so we're gonna be discussing both stuff out of Avengers Doomsday, which obviously you can see that we have this background here for you. We're gonna be talking about all about Avengers stuff, and then later down the line, because we are also fans of the Game of Thrones world, we're gonna bring up Uncle George R. R. Martin, and his some of his recent interviews and stuff leading into the future and potential past of A Song of Ice and Fire and the side of Westeros. So hang tight with us. We're gonna be talking first about Avengers Doomsday. But first, before we do that, Jor-El, how are you doing?
It's very cold outside.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I get that. Um, and before we go any further, I already see. I don't know what that is. Before we go any further, again, I didn't tell this to Jor-El, but I just want to say this right now. And normally, I don't bring this stuff up because I'm not fully informed, and I do weekly shows with other friends, and they like to not tread on this topic right now. But I just want to say this: what's happening in our country, in the U.S., and again, I'm not Jor-El doesn't have to say anything if he doesn't want to. It's just me, my 2 cents. What's happening in the country of the USA? As someone who's born here but has immigrant roots, proud immigrant roots, I'm ashamed. I'm sad. I'm sickened. Thankfully, I'm a nerd, so I can use stuff like Avengers, Game of Thrones, Watchmen, Star Wars to balance it out, so I don't go fully crazy and blow a lid off. Um, and I'm not proud of what's happening in Venezuela. I'm not proud, and I'm horribly disgusted with what's happening in Minneapolis. So my heart goes out to the community in Minneapolis. Um, it's been a rough 17 days for me, and I'm gonna say this, and then we'll move on. Como un Latino, como un hijo del inmigrantes, fuck guys, and fuck them 10 ways to Sunday. And I hope shit changes because this is ridiculous and unacceptable. And I'll leave it at that. All right, nerdy shit. Jor-El's, and again, for everybody who didn't know, Jor-El told me, "Yo, we gotta talk. We gotta talk about this Avengers shit. I got lots of discussions. By now, 4 teasers have dropped, or at least now we're told stories on behalf of the Russo brothers for Avengers Doomsday, the highly anticipated film of 2026 that comes out at the very end of the year. Um, Jor-El, you've seen these 4 teasers or 4 stories as of now. How do you feel about them thus far as a marketing choice?
How do I feel about all four?
Yeah.
How do I feel about all four? Okay, so the first two I didn't like them. The third one was the X-Men one.
Yes.
The X-Men one was the best one. That was good. That got me excited. And then the Fantastic Four Wakanda one was the last one.
Yes.
Which I definitely freaked out when I think it was M'Baku talking to the Thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a massive fan of Fantastic Four, so there's kind of just like nothing I could do about that. It was like involuntary. So yeah, the last two are good. I thought the first two were bad, if I'm being blunt. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
Okay.
much that. There's more thoughts, but yeah, I'll stop there.
Okay. That's fair enough. We have some comments thus far. We have, please forgive me if I'm butchering this name, if I'm saying it wrong. Hero Viewin, personal Turquoise Wizard Winhand. I think I'm assuming this. Thank you for tuning in. Keyblade Master Jeff saying, "Oh my gosh, Ronan is live. Yes, Jeffrey, I am live. We've been wanting to do these for ever since the Wakandan FF teaser dropped, and it's just like scheduling, and then something pops up, and then something doesn't pop up, and then work and life balance and all that stuff. So, but we're like within this week we have to talk about it. Now we've missed our window, but luckily we made it, and we can hang out for a little bit and discuss it. Okay. So you told this to me, you're like, yo, we gotta talk about it. I like these teasers. I like them. Obviously, the X-Men one blows all of them out of the water. And to be quite frank, I feel like we should have gone the Wakandan and the FF one last week, and this week should have capped off, if we're not gonna get any more, with the X-Men one, because that's how you end a 4-week window of marketing and like discussion. Like, all right, Sir Ian McKellen as Magneto and Patrick Stewart as Professor X, and then you get James Marsden going, "Redemption, bitches! It's coming in December," and that's it. You're like, all right, until hopefully the Super Bowl, we might get more stuff, but that's it that we need right now. So concept-wise, I dug this marketing and I like these teasers. What I didn't like is that every week, right before they would officially come out on YouTube in 4K by the Marvel YouTube channel, I had already seen screenshots because people recorded it on theaters and it was everywhere. So that sucked. I didn't get to fully be immersed by that.
I feel what you're saying there, but like when you say that you liked the trailers, like what do you mean? Like
I dug him in the sense that like it's enough for me that I don't initially now, especially 11 months away, I don't need a full blown trailer or teaser. Like if that's all we get and the speculation has been wild, I'm good. Having said that, like again, when we first talked about the Steve Rogers one, initially I was just like, is this real or is this AI? Like what's happening? Like is this an actual thing? And then we got to this shot, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the house from Endgame. And we get this shot, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, holy shit, he's back? Really? After all these months, I'm like, nah, I'm done. And then this one was again, this was the big one that I was just like, wait, is this real or is this AI? And it's real, y'all. It's happening. And we get these now like memeable things like Steve Rogers will return at Avengers DOOMSDAY. And I was just like, wow. So I liked them. I know a lot of people were crazy about them. I'm like, I like them, and I understand both angles of like excitement for Steve Rogers returning, and also, oh boy, I hope this doesn't bring down or hurt Sam's potential arc onward, where it's like the people have been already since he got the shield. He's not Captain America. Why the fuck would they give it to a black guy and all that bullshit nonsense? So I'm hoping, and I trust the Russo brothers, because again, the Russo for people, revisionist histories. The Russo brothers made a movie where Steve Rogers passes the torch, literally passes the shield to him, and be like, "It's yours." Well, I hope they don't, press, Control Z and do that stuff. I doubt they're gonna do that, but I like them. And then again, another thing, it's like Thor. Oh, this feels like Infinity War Endgame Thor, which is my favorite. But what are we doing now with bringing back these characters, and what does this mean for the characters that have been introduced for the past 5 years since Endgame? No, 7 years since Endgame came out, and I was 5, 6 when X-Men 1 came out. So that brand, those characters, those films, for better for worse, are part of my DNA. And some people might say it's just a cash grab, it's nostalgia. Sure, in that angle it is, but while these performers, actors, actresses are still with us, and I'm working on something to talk about how I feel about the X-Men in 2026. These characters and the themes they tackle are still very relevant. And again, everybody, for the most part, everybody is still alive. And we're closing a generational book on an era of these projects and IPs. Why wouldn't you bring back everybody and give them accurate, at the very least, costumes? And again, I'm telling you, I don't know how the movie's going to deliver, but those few seconds where we see James Marsden optic blast with his visor pulling out, that like was like healing for a generation of Cyclops fans, or like two of them. I was like, oh my gosh, they're doing it. And I didn't expect to get this pump for the team up or this buddy duo between M'Baku and Ben Grimm. And I was like, oh, I want to see that now. If that's possible, let's do it. So I've liked them. That's how I feel about them. And
Yeah, it's yeah.
Euro Viewing says that the second two I have rewatched the most. Okay. I like the latter half ones. Yeah. Awesome movie. First one was bad. The other three trailers were awesome. Okay. By movie, I mean Fantastic Four. I like the Fantastic Four First Steps movie. X-Men 1 was a different level of hype, right? I don't care about Avengers Doomsday. Just give us X-Men. Just give us Kitty Pryde. Give us Phantom X. Give us Rachel Summers. Give us Monet Sick Crooks. Give us Mystique and her wife Destiny. Okay. I mean, I've told my friends, if Elliot Page would like to come back and reprise the role of Kitty Pryde, I am down to welcome back Elliot Page as Kitty Pryde if they want to. Jeffrey says the leaks were killing me. I got spoiled by the X-Men one and the first one. Yeah, the music was top notch in each one. Daddy Thor time. It's paying respects to the legends. Nice kids, so I have bias. And then Keyblade Master Jeffrey says, I was 4. I remember watching the first X-Men movie for the first time, then eventually getting into the games. They were better than the movies. LOL. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Jor-El, you brought this up on me. You're like, yo, we gotta talk. I'm like, all right, the forum is yours. What do you want to talk about?
Well, first of all, we have a lot to talk about, but I guess, Lord, where's the best place to start? Is probably the better question. Well, I guess I'll just say and just get out of the way. Listen, I mean, I do, unless you just know nothing about my channel, like I got a lot of love for the MCU. However, post Endgame, the MCU has had some issues for once, standout issues, if you will, be it whether at the box office or critical feedback. Projects like Never Happening, like Blade. They've had quite a hell of a time, and I think there's a possibility now. Weirdly, there hasn't been a Avengers film that I've disliked. I think like the lowest I ever gave one is like 8 out of 10, the highest 10 out of 10. I love the Avengers films, but I think this could be like the first one that underwhelms. That could like not only be like narratively bad, but it could financially underwhelm. And when I say financially underwhelm, like I'm saying like the budget is going to be extraordinarily big. Like the last Mission Impossible film, what the hell was it? Dead Reckoning Part 2, right? Whatever the hell it was called. That film was like supposed to be this expected success, but it wasn't. It flopped. It underwhelmed. It failed at the box office because the budget was too big. I think it was something insane like 400 billion or something. Like no, okay. I guess to paint a picture, I think the highest Mission Impossible film was made is like 700 billion worldwide or something. So no, and it failed. But I think that Doomsday could fail in a similar way. I think it's the MCU's recent declines could have had some kind of avalanche effect that also affects the Avengers for once. An upset is what I'm describing, but still. And like I'm envisioning something where like it hits 1 billion, but it hits something like what the Dark Knight Rises made, 1.085 whatever the fuck billion, like some I can see it like doing something like, I should really say I see it like making less than $1.5 billion basically, which to be blunt, it probably needs like 2 billion just to be safe. This budget could be anywhere between $400-500 million. You understand what the fuck I'm saying? And more so closer to $500 million. Now, goddamn fucking insane that is. But anyway, just to slow down a little bit, because I've been thinking about this for a long time. I think about 12 films have been released post Endgame. There's been like 4 major failures. That one Marvel's film was a substantial failure. I think it was like 200 million was the budget. You know how fucking crazy that is. They have multiple $200 million films fail. You know how insane that is. Anyway, but yeah, I there's been some stumbles, if you will, and I wonder if it's touched these Avengers films, and I know they're aggressively trying to get this marketing campaign off the ground, even though it's not out for 11 months. Gentle reminder. But anyways, you have to say something. I have to hold myself back. I have a lot to say, but I know it's a lot. I know.
I get where that feeling from, because I too have some reservation, but I'm not betting against the house. And what I mean by the house, the Russo brothers.
The only films since 2019, since 2019. Think about what I'm telling you. The only films that made $1 billion, if it had fucking Spider-Man in the title and Deadpool, Wolverine. That's it. 12 films. Captain America. Eternals.
I love the
Thunderbolts.
I love Thunderbolts.
Fantastic Four. Some of what I said didn't technically flop, but they definitely, I guess, underwhelmed expectations or some shit. Like, what do you mean Fantastic Four only made 600 million or 700 million, whatever the hell? Like, what? Shouldn't that be like? Shouldn't that have been like automatic 1.7 billion? What's happening here? There's what I was telling you over the phone, the fall of Rome.
The fall of Rome. Yeah, yo, I wish y'all could hear some of our exchanges, because Jor-El will throw these like references of like real history of like, listen, man, Pompeii, that shit went down, and or like, you know, Rome fell, and I was like, dude, it's comic book shit. I'll say this before I go. I want to say this because we have some comments, and I'm thankful that anybody's watching this right now. Thank you so much for spending time, and please be engaging with us. We'll do our best to be engaging and also give you our 2 cents. I meant the new MCU X-Men. Thunderbolts gave me hope, as it did to me. Not all things have been hits after Endgame. I'd say that it's been 50-50 after Endgame. Sure, that's fair. I need the life clock to do something every so often in order to keep my sanity intact in time for Christmas. Yeah. So here's the thing, and me and my friends have been saying this. There should have been at least one Avengers movie before this one to let the new rookies, the new characters, and the people in charge have something to do that isn't world, or at this point now, multiversal ending. So we get a hook on them and where they're at, like a team, before we throw them in to not just a movie about a multiverse saga, but a generational movie that has different generations into it. And so on that regard, I don't know how they're going to pull this off, because I thought like after Infinity War Endgame, like, okay, we could do these movies once in a while, and we were like, but no, it's possible, you've done it, but you up the stakes by putting in the multiverse, and then you up the stakes now where it's like, okay, the Russo brothers are back, and they may say the momentum's been building up to these movies, even though one of them was named differently, and we were heading with a different antagonistic character. That does worry me a little bit. And again, I'm a huge Robert Downey Jr. fan. I was so happy for him for Oppenheimer, and I love him as Tony Stark. When he was announced, I was like, oh, snap, he's back. But I'm like, as Dr. Doom, how are they going to play that? And obviously they're going to go for the very Shakespearean, the guy, the godfather of the MCU, and coming back to play a different character that looks just like him, potentially. And how's that going to mess with audience, especially general audience who doesn't follow as much? Because if the last thing you've seen is Endgame and you see him pop up, we're like, wait a minute, didn't he die?
Bro, that could be the thing that literally brings the reality that I am telling you to life. That one thing, that one example, and there's multiple things I could rant off, but that's actually a big one. I don't know how many general audience members are aware of this RDJ Doom thing, like we do,
Yeah.
because we're nerds. And I just I don't know that there's going to be like this universal like, ooh, yes, that yay. I don't know. Because the execution has to be like so right. Like I just they put themselves in this situation where they either have to produce basically the best Marvel film ever made, or what I'm saying is going to come true.
I just think that as long as, because again, we all, I hope kids don't watch this because I don't want to spoil stuff and kill the magic of the movies for them. Eventually, eventually we're gonna have to press the reset button. Secret Warriors literally does that, and so we're in essence gonna have to do that sooner or later in the coming 2 years. I just think again, that's one thing to be concerned about, like how much money is that being put in, and
I'm not buying that most people are gonna see the RDJ Doom thing and just be okay or just be positive about it. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. There's I don't buy it.
Imagine, here's the thing: anything could happen in cinemas. And here's the weird part: the thing that maybe is leaning into your side is that stuff is changing right now. The release time is changing with Warner Brothers and where they're at. Our cinema's gonna go for it again with this now, what they're being coined, which the fans brought up, not the actors. The actors just ran with it now. Doomsday, is that going to be something that people are going to be wanting to stay in theaters for 6 hours, 7 hours? I know I'm going to do that. I'm down to do that. I'm like, everybody, for 3 days, I need 3 days off so I can stay half of a day in the movies and the other 2 days recuperating and be like, what happened? So I'm very interested to see how that's going to play into it. So I don't know. I'm hopeful, and again, I'm hopeful that they can pull it off. And again,
I think and listen, if I'm wrong, I'm happy to eat my words. I would love to see a great Avengers Doomsday movie that hits 2.7 billion and we're all loving it and like that. I hope that's what happens. That's clearly what you guys are expecting to happen.
I hope.
Unfortunately, I do not think that's what's going to happen. Now it could be, but that just seems so.
I don't know, dude. Like
it almost seems like the Stepford wife sort of artificiality, where like it seems alluring and positive, but it's like something's off. That's the heavy vibes I'm getting personally. Like the build-up's not right. You know what I'm saying? Like the build-up for Infinity War, like everybody was just like, yeah, like just so just out of our minds.
Yeah.
There was some theater like somebody got taken out on a stretcher. You know what I mean? Like that's not going to happen this time.
Or do we know? Again, I don't know.
Like,
a lot could happen.
So far, it just seems like it seems like a very, very bizarrely casted Fantastic Four film. You know what I mean? Like something's not quite right. Like we haven't had enough time with these sons of bitches. I don't even remember some of these sons of bitches. Not my fault, theirs, because they decided not to make certain sequels for some reason, like Shang-Chi and
that is a very fair critique. Like, where the fuck is Shang-Chi 2 been at? Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? So, like, some of these people I literally just don't remember because of them.
Before we go any further, Darren Sanctuary is here. Ronan the Goat. Hi, Darren. Hope you have a speedy recovery. Chainsaw Reacts speedy cameo. No, that's Warner Brothers. They're doing an animated movie. They're my friends from Council of Creators. So shout out to them. Tune in every Wednesday to Chainsaw Reacts channel and to the Pipeline, Darren's channel, his podcast. Harold Viewin says Spider-Man brand new day after credit scene is going to have so much pressure on it. LOL. true, because that's people will be like, "Yo, is this leading up, or what are we gonna do with it?" I don't know. Jeffrey says that to fans, as long as it's good enough for us, that's fine with everyone who is a fan. Only people who should care about box office should be the people behind the movies. That's where I was kind of leaning to it. Like money wise, I'll put it to you this way: it's not my own. It's not my money. The economy is as bad as it is right now. I'm going to be paying probably $20 by the time we get to December for my ticket. So
Sure,
as long as
but
the quality is good and I can buy it, like again, if they cross the line and it wasn't too turbulent, I'm like, okay, that was a good curveball, and I'll be right there next December for Secret Wars. Beyond just the necessity of like, okay, that's the next Avengers movie. And again,
sure.
a lot of people are like, how are they gonna handle Doom? Because it's still kind of funky. And I understand both sides of like, what does this mean? Like, are you taking away from the FF? Are you bringing someone back just so people can get cash grabs? Like, I don't know. I again, I wonder how the narrative is gonna feel when we get a official teaser or a trailer that has Doom in it, that has Victor Von Doom, and if it's going to start clicking for people, or if when that said footage does come out officially, how are people going to react? Are people going to be like, huh? Or like,
Okay.
what the fuck is this?
First off, if it it's not my money either, but if should it fail at the box office, okay, well, first off, that means so many things at once. I mean, we'll never see well, I won't say never, but almost never we're never gonna see a moment like this again, like with the Doomsday, Secret Wars, Infinity War, Endgame, ever again. And if it happened again, we'd be long dead. And also the quality, or whatever the fuck you think of the quality so far, that's gone. If this fails at the box office, it's gone. The scale is gone. It will never be as big. Will never be quite as crazy as whatever the fuck is about to happen. For sure not.
I don't know, man. The X-Men are coming, and so the X-Men is still
That
a viable
what
IP.
are you talking about? Post Secret Wars?
Secret Wars.
That doesn't mean anything. There'll never be something like that scale. There'll never be something that like just the Infinity War Endgame moment will just never be topped, basically. Not as long as me and you are breathing, anyway. So I kind of disagree that like it failing at the box office is sort of like some kind of nothing burger on this. As long as I love it, I hope we all love it. But
I'm not saying it's a nothing burger.
I just want to say that it shouldn't. This really should not happen because it would be devastating more than you would know.
No, and I'm not saying it's not a nothing burger. I'm just saying that, like, to me, my first thought is like, okay, just deliver something that is compatible. And although I don't live in a vacuum and I've seen how much the narratives have been changing with antagonists, projects being pulled in, stuff that's been said and whatnot, and having all said that, do I go into that movie and be like, oh yeah, I had just as much fun, if not potentially more, than the previous Avengers movies, and I'm ready for waiting for another year. That's the first angle, and then after that, I think the money is going to kick in regardless. Again, and mind you, remember, if no one blinks, they're going to share that box office weekend or the following weekends with Dune Part 3. And how's that angle going to go between? Do you honestly want to revisit a third Dune movie, or are we going to go rushing first into Avengers? And how is that going to be split evenly? Because the best scenario is that this movie delivers, and both this and Dune Part 3 make the money back. And it's like, okay, high five. The movie theater experience is still a thing. Don't F it up, big corporations.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know how, but I do think that movie theaters are going to survive this bullshit potential Netflix deal coming up, which technically has not been finalized just yet.
Technically,
it's just that the odds are very much in his favor, unfortunately. But
yeah,
I think probably delusionally that movie theaters will survive this. Hopefully, they just have to.
Yeah,
Technically, they've been
my
around
sanity.
for,
Yeah.
you know, been around for millennia. So,
Jeffrey does says to Chainsaw. Did you see they are making a Speedy Gonzalez movie? If you're still here, Chainsaw. Yes, Warner Brothers did announce finally officially that Jorge Gutierrez, the guy who did the Book of Life, is doing a Speedy Gonzalez animated movie. I am pumped for that because, not to make a stereotype, but I am Latino and Speedy Gonzalez is a big part of my culture. And I trust Jorge Gutierrez to deliver on that. And see, I think he was alluding to the movie where he says Ronan told me months ago when he was writing it. Uh if I was part of that writing team for Doomsday and Secret Wars, I don't think I could last 2 years of without accidentally spilling shit. So hopefully no further stuff gets leaked by the time we get to it, and hopefully it's not a No Way Home scenario where just we knew most of the shit going into that movie, even though I like that movie. Jeffrey says, "LOL." He also did voice acting. He's also voice acting character. No, I'm not. I wish I got paid the big bucks for that, but I'm not. Maybe they will do a recap at the beginning of the movie to catch people who don't remember what is going on in the universe. Just a thought. That's not out of the realm of possibility, in my opinion. Do a quick recap of what's happened. But again, that's the thing of like we could have done a movie that is not world ending for characters like Shang-Chi, for Sam Wilson's Captain America, for the Falcon, for uh, I'm already forgetting the rest of the roster. Jesus Christ. But She-Hulk and all these others, like it would have been nice to give them that space before throwing him and be like, oh, okay, you're not just an Avenger now. Now this is where, we've done this before with Thanos, but this is probably potentially worse than Thanos. Um, Jeffrey says that was an error by me. Neither am I. I'm just saying we as fans shouldn't really care about box office. Yeah, and again, I understand.
Fun. It's fun. It's not the most important thing. It's fun.
I understand, and I understand Jor-El's angle.
It's a juicy conversation. Come on.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, to me, I'm very curious to see starting to, hopefully when they do a BTS videos of like, okay, script wise, how the fuck did this came to be? What was the hook to bring the one of the writers from Infinity War and Endgame back to write these two movies and the Russo brothers? Because they always said, if we get to the Secret Wars, we're in. They've said that for years now. In what way and what are they going to do now with this movie? Because you can't repeat the same thing you did in Infinity War and Endgame, but the bar has risen and you yourself rose the bar. And how's that going to play out? And I think it's apoplectic. It is chilling and horrifying, but it's probably the greatest challenge that a director and a screenplay writer could have with this stuff, especially where we're at right now with the movie going experience. I'm very curious to see how these next 11 months are going to be playing out. I mean, hell, as someone alluded to it earlier, right now, if you go to the Marvel Entertainment YouTube channel, did they stop it? No. Did they stop it? No, okay, no, there's still a live stream going of the Doomsday Clock still going.
Oh yeah, it's not going anywhere.
And so I'm wondering, is that going to stay? How long is that going to stay? Because
11 months.
That's fucking wild. Watch Guinness
World
Records.
To be fair, like literally, Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer did something like this, like
that's
almost like verbatim, for its July release of 2023. They had a live stream. You can't access it, or if you try to, it's a dead link. Which in a similar fashion was insane. Like it literally was just always running. It was just very bizarre. But yeah, no. But they're biting off my boy Oppie a tiny bit.
And again, so we understand skepticism. I think there's some valid critique going into it of like how are we going to, because again, we talked about how the lead up is different this time than if it were Endgame. Here's what I'll say. And people could argue about whether if the box office flop, if it's a hit and all this stuff. I think that Thunderbolts and FF did a lot of work. Not all of the work, but did a lot of work for people to go into Doomsday, because now those two groups, people are like, we like these two groups. How is that going to play out in a movie? Again, and like you said, you hope that you're wrong and that everything's a success and a hit, whatnot. I'll admit this: I could be potentially wrong come December, and be like, damn, it was better off when they were on their own movies or not. But again, I am hopeful that these actors can have enough good chemistry to play off each other in a good, fun time.
I think so too. I did just want to say really quickly, because I mean, it's kind of a quick one. We don't need to spend too much time on it. But the trailers cumulatively, I think, have hit what the fuck was it, like a billion,
A
right? A
billion
billion
views.
views.
They put out a video
Billion
saying
views.
thank you. Yeah.
I hate to be that guy, but we are 11 months out. 11 months away is this film, okay? And again, there's also this the excitement can wane. I'm saying, quite literally. That's so long from now, but and then also again, we haven't had the official trailers, and we don't know what the general audience members are going to look when, like, when RDJ just like turns around and people go like, oh, you know, because when Thanos came out, it was just this immediate uh like being bewildered and imitating him and memeing him and quoting him and referencing him constantly, and people had him as his background. Like, it was just like an immediate like love fest, you know. Is that going to happen here? I don't know. This is a trick one. I mean, like, RDJ has he has the acting capabilities, but that's not the issue. The issue is the script, the quality of the CGI, the quality of the editing. It goes on and on. Like, that's where you can start to see the seams, unfortunately. And it's obviously we got more stuff to talk about, but it's a tricky one. I mean, I guess I'll just say it so we can get to this next subject. I think, yeah. So the 1 billion thing, is it impressive? I mean, was anyone expecting weak viewership? So whether it failed or not, you know what I mean. So it's kind of like I think Odyssey got it's only got like one official trailer, but that one trailer got like fucking like cumulatively like 121 million hits or something. To put that in perspective, I think the first teaser for Doomsday got like cumulatively like 161 million or something. So it's just like, it's like, fuck, if there were 4 Odyssey trailers, does that mean that would have like 2 billion viewership? I don't know. It's a weird situation we're in, but I hope I'm wrong. But I am currently predicting that Doomsday underperforms. It makes about like less than 1.5 billion worldwide, which, as crazy as it sounds, would probably be sufficient enough to make it underperform, because the budget's going to be so stupidly high, unfortunately. So stupidly. It's sad, but they did it to themselves. I didn't do it. Don't look at me.
They didn't do it.
They did it. Okay, just like with with the last Mission Possible. I know, I get it. The pandemic, this, I get it. This and that, I got you. But Jesus Christ.
But I'll say this: I'm thankful that they did this. They did this. They did that. They did
That's
that.
true.
They did. They did. They did. Remember when they did this? That I like that. That was nice. And
Yes.
again, I just oh, please don't make this more than just a cool marketing. Make this just more than cool marketing. Like,
I need a good story. I need a good story. Okay, Infinity War is a good story. I think Endgame is a good story. I love these stories.
Yeah, Jeffrey says, "Yeah, I understand Jor-El's side of things as well. I'm hoping for this universe. Like Ronan, I love these characters. Also love having these great conversations. Yeah, I think this is just fun. Like again,
I love Infinity War. Can I say that? Love Infinity War. Jesus
fuck
Christ.
yeah,
I love Endgame genuinely.
yes.
Um
I will never forget, dude. The last shot of Infinity War, Thanos smiling, cut to black, and again, no CG, 3D stuff. It's just black, and then Times New Roman, directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, and people were just like, wow.
okay.
Regardless if
So
people know they were coming back or not, people were just like, wow, they really did that. And knowing that kids are going to watch that. And I just remember being like, applauding. I remember I told to a relative of mine, I told him, we lost. The Avengers lost. And then I just started clapping. I was like, whew, 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 whew. And again, even the relative media guys were like, that's impressive. They're like, all right,
yes.
we want to watch the next one. I was just like, what the hell? I was like, all right.
So I did want to I guess bring us to our next little topic, or maybe not so little. I don't know. It's the Doomsday, because they both release on. I didn't even know this. I thought they just released around each other, like Spider-Man Brand New Day and
Yeah.
Odyssey, but they actually released on the same day, which is December 18th. So they were thinking about calling it Doomsday to sort of try to, desperately replicate the Barbenheimer moment. Um, so in regards to the Doomsday thing, I
Yeah.
put out a poll. I put out a poll about 9 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
117 people voted, and I asked which one first. And 48% chose Doomsday. 52% chose Doom 3. um, and it makes you wonder, like, what our audience is gonna respond to more, what are they gonna gravitate towards more, which one are they gonna go see first, because a lot of people keep saying that, like, Doom 3 should move, and I feel like that's inaccurate. I
They're
think
not gonna do that.
Doom,
Nobody's gonna do that. Yeah.
I think Doom should say exactly where it is. If I'm not mistaken, I think Doom specifically chose this date. I don't know what the hell Marvel's been doing, but I know that because Doomsday had a totally different initial date anyway. But yeah, I don't think Doom should move. I think Doom's going to be a success. Hell, my crazy ass thinks people might see Doom 3 more than Avengers Doomsday. Maybe people see RDJ's Doom and they go, and then they see fucking Doom 3 and they're like, holy shit, bro. Um, who knows? It's gonna look fantastic. It's gonna look, incredible. I love
Yeah.
Denis. He's one of my favorite artists. So, um, it kind of just feels like an art project versus like bubblegum pop. I don't know, but it's a really weird clashing this time. In my mind, it's very different from Oppenheimer and Barbie in my mind. But
Mm.
what do you think about Doomsday, and which one people are going to gravitate towards?
Hmm. I like Doomsday. I like that. Um, I really don't know because, in my opinion, again, people might see it differently, but Barbenheimer, it was like Oppenheimer's for the boys, Barbie's for the girls. With this one, and again, and then eventually, or at the same time, the girls will want to go see more Oppenheimer, and the guys will want to see Barbie. I think this one, both fan bases cross paths, cross streams, and part three ends this trilogy, and Doomsday begins the end of this saga, and or this generational thing. So I'm very curious to see where people are going to go. I think people are going to be more concerned with spoilers from Doomsday, so they might want to go see that first. But I think people are going to equally want their Dune tickets first. It's just a matter of like, what do you want to see first? Because again, both probably gonna be around the same runtime. But do you want to have fun and all this stuff, or do you want to get that big Villeneuve gritty sci-fi thing? That again, from what I've been hearing, people who read the books, it's gonna go bonkers. Um, So
Yeah,
I really don't know.
I was just about to bet that Doom 3 is the I was about to bet that Doom 3 is the shorter film.
Mm,
Uh, Doomsday being the longer film. Because again, in my opinion, I think that they're desperate. So I think Doomsday is probably a safe assumption that it's like 3 hours.
hmm
I could be wrong, dead wrong. But if I had to assume, I would say it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
Um, but regardless, I think it's going to be the longer film, and I wonder if just off that, people go see Dune 3 first. Could be curious. Um, yeah, I wonder if that alone can make people see Dune first. Weirdly.
I think I'll say this, that potentially even these theories that have been popping out
Hmm.
for Doomsday might want to get the honest to go see that first, because and I alluded this idea to you, and you're like, don't blue ball me, dude. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, no, let's wait, save it for the live stream. Um, I know you've been hearing this theory, but apparently after each teaser, after the title says that so and so will return, Avengers Doomsday, we get the big Doomsday logo with December 18th, and it goes to a clock, right? If you go back after each teaser, quote unquote teaser story, um, there's a snap frame right before the clock starts going in, and in each of these teasers, there's been a new different, like, almost like, I don't know if it's coordinates or if it's timestamps, but these have been showing up in different versions. And like, again, that's the Steve Rogers one, right? We go to the Thor one, doing his prayer. Thor will be back. Cool. Because that one's different. And then we do X-Men. They're gonna be back. Different. We go to
Okay.
Wakanda, the FF. They're gonna be back. And again, different. So the Russos might be onto something of maybe even playing with our minds of like what's gonna happen. And people have been saying this. One theory I heard was that those different timestamps are parts of both Infinity War and Endgame, or they specifically Endgame, alluding to stuff, because someone said they matched that one of the time frames, and it was to when the Ancient One was talking to Bruce Banner and saying, if you remove one of these things, all universes will collapse and do all this stuff. So I've been interested to see, like, what are they really hiding again? Because again, they said these aren't teasers; these are just stories to pay attention. And so beyond the Doomsday thing, I wonder if there is something they're showing us right in front of our faces and we just haven't cracked it. And beyond being a good movie, good script, and good time, I wonder if it's gonna be a cool thing to revisit, and might want to get people to go see it multiple times, because people are gonna see it multiple times. But now having discovered, oh, this is what they were hinting at with these teasers. This is why the first two allude to about fatherhood and children, and then the second one was talking about death and how people are going to meet death, and how they're going to be like when they meet death. Have they prepped for it, or are they going to be in the moment something uniquely different? So I've been seeing a lot of those theories. Have you fallen into any like rabbit hole, or just the people's theories of like, what do they mean this not being teaser, that these are stories?
No, but there is something that I kind of just personally just had been thinking about since first trailer, or since the first trailer, which I did not enjoy, and I've been thinking about it because I'm just like, either A, this is just fake footage, it's just like footage for this trailer, and then we never see this footage again, or if it is genuine, why do that? It's lame. So I've been trying to think, like, why the fuck would you do that, or why would I do such a weird concept? And the only thing I could think of is it would be interesting if we were I doubt they're working on something this cool, but it'd be interesting if we misjudged why Steve Rogers is returning. It would be interesting if, like, the only reason why he was returning is because, like, we kind of get to see pieces of memories, like when we saw Old Man Cap at the end of Endgame, uh, I guess maybe we finally get to see some memories, from this mysterious past that they are ambiguous about. And it would be interesting while we were like seeing some of these memories, like somehow like Doom enters and like kills Cap, and somehow like I don't know, like deletes a major timeline, or just straight up just deletes the timeline that like me and you know of this version of Steve Rogers and me and you know. Maybe he just like deletes it or something. Like that's Doom's opening onto the film, is just like deleting, not only killing Cap, but like just like deleting his existence or something, and just like casually going on. Um, I have been tinkering with something like that. That could be intriguing because everyone is just so obsessed and just assuming that like, oh yeah, he's the main character, and like, oh my god, is he gonna be in 26 scenes or blah blah. So it'd be interesting if they were going to subvert expectations by doing something like that. Um, yeah, I don't know if anyone else has thought of something like that, but that's what I've been thinking of. I don't know what do you think? If how would you feel if something like, have you thought about something like that, or how would you feel if something like that happened? Oh, I think you're muted.
There we go. I have and I haven't. It's weird because I've been messing like, okay, how are they going to reintroduce these characters after we gave them, especially Steve, a great send off goodbye? Why bring him back? And they said that in the first season that we were always going to come back to Steve. Um, and I'm very interested to see if he's going to be in it for a little. I'll say this, and maybe I guess I'm biased. If the X-Men are only in it for 5 minutes, I am gonna be pissed. I'm like, yo, what the fuck was the point of all those chairs revealed and all that stuff? And like, no, you know that they're the hot one of them, not the hot ticket into that movie. So I know eventually we're gonna have to say goodbye to these characters definitively. But I haven't. I'm trying to balance it right because I'm hearing all these series. I'm like, ooh, that could be fun. But I'm taking it with a grain of salt because I don't want to come into it with a lot of baggage than when I am already going into it.
But have you
And
considered that it's a ploy that Steve Rogers is?
it's
He's meant for like a shock value. He's not meant to,
to be narrative.
because they've had to, they can't be completely stupid. They probably are very stupid, but they can't be so stupid as to like kind of the ending of Endgame. I think is really I love a lot
Perfect. Yeah.
personally.
Here's the thing. I
They
tell
must
people,
they have to be self aware of
right?
tanking that. So I wonder if there's a subversion.
I tell people, go watch the Infinity War trailer, the first one, and it ends, or the first one. It ends with Steve, Bucky, Sam, the Black Panther, Natasha running into screen with the Hulk. That shot is not in the movie. That was just a shot for the trailer. So as much as all these visuals are setting to me and engaging, there's a real possibility that none of this stuff is in the movie at all.
Can I just say, if what I'm saying happened, I would probably piss my fucking pants, like just straight up, dog. That would genuinely like. I hope Avengers Doomsday is coming with that kind of fucking energy. Like that's what made like Infinity War so good. Like just immediately like trying to like dismantle me and like just catch me off guard, you know? Because in my opinion, Infinity War and Endgame is the hardest that the MCU has ever tried. It's also the hardest that they've noticeably tried. You know, like a lot of times I'm just like, were you guys awake during this project? Like, what the fuck? But it's like those were the two moments I can say confidently that they really tried their hardest to please everyone. And it's man, it's such a high bar to,
Yeah.
to even try to match. Never mind try to surpass it. Just trying to match it.
Get there. Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's the challenge. Jeffrey does say that that's a hot take. I think Avengers has more weight to it than Dune. That's just my opinion, though. That's fair. Justin
It
Shields,
does.
I
It
see.
does.
I
It's true.
see your comment, Justin Shields. When we get to that portion of the stream, I'll bring it up. I promise. Um, Jeffrey does say that. I mean, does it really cross paths like in space or the planets, or the other stuff has superheroes versus bad guys, or guys or bad women? Um, I think you're talking about the crossing of the paths with fan bases between Dune and Avengers. I think it does, just because we both love Marvel. Well, the ideas, how they've gone, we probably have different opinions, but we're Marvel fans and we're Dune fans and we're Denis Villeneuve fans. So that speaks something. We're both gonna go see these movies, no doubt. We're both gonna see the movies. How it turns out, it's a whole nother ballpark, and how we both feel about it, that's a whole other thing of like, are we gonna be in sync or diverting parts? Um, and again, how others who either do this stuff like YouTube or don't do this stuff are gonna feel. Again, I'm interested to see how us who cover this stuff feel, and then how people who don't cover this stuff are just going to do it. How are they gonna feel? And it should be interesting, the word of mouth, especially that week when it drops, because the press are gonna see it, and they're gonna be probably asked to be vague but honest. Um, I don't know. I really hope that both Dune and Avengers make money and make it a thing. Again, make an event right before the holidays. Again, it is fun and stressful during the holiday times, but if you can give us a movie, two movies, let alone one, to like have a fun time and just be sink in and be part of the zeitgeist of pop culture in that moment, that will be an achievement. And again, it's coming from two IPs that are hugely loved across the board. Kevin Davis does say that Doom Part 2 didn't do amazing at the box office. Last time only made $715 million. That's not a lot once movie theaters take a portion out. 715 million is a lot for me. That's just my take. He does say also, folks rejecting Anthony Mackie as Captain America. Can Feige bring back Chris Evans to win back the fans and to make money at the box office? Again, that is an angle that people can cynically see, or see, not even cynically, just see that angle, and maybe that's a portion of it. I tend to think that there has to be a really good narrative reason why to bring him back. And it can't be just that, because, and they know the fans, they know the audience are, I would hope they don't think the audience are dumb, that we don't live in a vacuum. We live in the era of social media. And so we can feel when something feels forced, rushed, or it can feel like, all right, regardless of how we were going up to this point, organically, I can buy this. And if we could buy your reasoning, then you got us. You got us. Jeffrey says that, doubt it, Kevin. We'll see. We'll see, man. 11 more months and counting. Folks, we're going to turn the shift now to the other half of the discussion that we're going to talk about. And that involves George R. Martin and his most recent talks about his universe, where he's at with writing and all this stuff. And now that we're at the last day before A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms launches, and I'm very interested to see how people are going to be feeling about that show. And I haven't even talked to you about it a lot, Jor-El, of how you feel about George R. R. Martin and his recent interviews and talks and whatnot. For those who don't know, he recently gave a what was it? Is it a Hollywood Reporter interview, Jor-El? Or who was it that he talked to?
The Hollywood Reporter.
Okay, it was a Hollywood Reporter, and talked about where he's at with his writing, with the shows, and where do we go from here. And so I'm very interested to see how people feel about it. What are your initial thoughts on the state of George R. R. Martin, the franchise of Game of Thrones? How do you feel about it?
It feels pretty troubled. It sounds like I didn't read the entire article, but I read a good chunk, or at least the most juicy bits, and like about Winds of Winter, for example. It's heavy. He's 77, and I guess my initial knee-jerk reaction is that I feel like he needs to as cursed as it sounds, I feel like he needs to take a step back. Like I feel like he needs to maybe take like a year off or something. Because what he's saying sounds extremely like stressed the fuck out. Um, yeah, like we're gonna be digging into specifics here, but yeah, that's my broad thoughts.
Well, let me ask you this: the Winds of Winter. For those who don't know, this year will mark 15 years since Dance with Dragons came out, which is the last book that's been published. When do you think Winter Winter is going to come out, Jor-El? Are we going to get it? He put him in the spotlight, and he's like, "Dog, why the fuck would you ask me that question?" But it is a valid question, and it was
It
brought up.
is. There should have been some buffer before this because that's a trick question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably say no if I was being realistic. If I was being realistic, I would say no. I think he might have said he wrote. Well, I don't want to misspeak, but I can't remember how many pages that he's written. It seemed like quite a bit, but I would say no if I was a betting man. Like if you like put a gun to my head or something, I'd say no. I don't think so. I would love to be wrong though,
Yeah.
and it is. He himself just seems so unsure. So like, why would I be sure about him? So I'm sort of like forced to say no.
Okay.
That we're not gonna get it, at least not completed.
I think that, and again, it's tricky now because now he's about to have 2 prequel shows on the air, and as far as I know, the House of the Dragon show that's based on Fire and Blood, there's only 1 book out, and I think he was supposed to have at least 2 books set for that that side of that era of Game of Thrones. And they've already announced that I think the show's going to end with either season 4 or season 5, which I'm like, okay, they already have an end in mind. But I really hope, and this is also going to be applicable for Night of the Ten Kingdoms. I hope, and again, as someone who hasn't fully finished Game of Thrones, but I know what happens within the show, I hope it's not a scenario where it happens again where it's season 8 and it's like, no, there was no material out, so why the fuck did why did they go with it and so and so and so. Go ahead.
Oh, I did just want to shout something out really quick because I'll fucking forget. I have a crazy mind. But there is a moment where it says George Martin says he has around 1,100 manuscript pages finished.
Yes.
Which is, I think, is pretty important to throw out there.
And he said that he wants to also write more Duncan Egg novellas, which again, selfish plug, but like I have a review out for Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I'll say this: that is my favorite thing thus far in Game of Thrones, and I would want more novellas of Duncan Egg. I would want more stories of Duncan Egg stories, but I know how much, not even just Winds of Winter, A Dream of Spring, I think is the final book that's hanging on him on him as weight, and when's that come out? I'm hoping that like by now he's working on those both books good enough that like he'll drop a bomb of announcement and be like, Winter is finished, it's coming this far, and then once we get to set release date, you might hear more news of A Dream of Spring, and then people will be like,
why is he playing, dog? Why is he playing, dog? What the fuck? He needs to fucking get busy. What is fucking going on?
And again, I don't know, but here's the thing: we don't live in his shoes. I can't imagine what it's like to be like that. But I for sure would have thought that like before he even even before House of the Dragon, he would have one of those books done, and then if you want to take a break from that angle, go play with the House of the Dragon. It's like, okay, you play with that one. All right, go play with the Dream of Spring, and then all right, you had fun with that. All right, let's do Duncan Egg now. But again, it's not my franchise, not my IP. It's his. I just hope that by the time he does finish those 2 books, that he's still an enthusiastic creative. I don't want him to get burnt out by the time we get to those 2 books.
He's
Because
clearly
again,
burnt. He's clearly burnt out. But I mean, I think he should change his approach. Like, I feel like if I had like 2 weeks and a few terabytes and just a voice recorder, I could come back with some audio files. That's basically the entire book. I feel confident about this. Like like when he talks about like writing on his computer that doesn't have like any internet, like I'm just like, my G, like I feel like you should just be like, walking somewhere that looks like real life Westeros with like some scribes behind you, just
some wolves in the background.
you're recording your every word. Like I almost feel like maybe there's an issue with him with his normal method. I feel like honestly, if I just spoke to him, I could just conjure the book out of him. I genuinely believe it. Like I'm not joking. Like I genuinely think I can just pull this book out of him. Like I feel like he's just taking the wrong approach and like doesn't even realize it. It's really complicated. Like he's having issues with one of the showrunners or someone
Yeah,
like
Ryan
that,
Cordell. Yeah.
for House of the Dragon. There's this moment here where a fan had approached him about the Winds of Winter because they stated that you're not going to be around for much longer.
Oh God.
Was something that
oh Jesus Christ.
right.
Mortality,
Right.
George.
And,
I want that fucking book. God.
Yeah, and then this is from George. He says that he looked online to see the reaction, and he was dismayed to find some fans saying that he deserved it. This is his words. They say he lied to us. He's going to die soon. Look how old he is. I really don't need that shit. Nobody needs that shit. It's a really heavy article. Yeah. It's pretty heavy.
And again, I can't speak for you. This coming from someone who likes Game of Thrones, but it's not my Star Wars. It's not my X-Men. But now with Duncan Egg, there's a whole quarter that I'm like, oh, I'm into this angle. I want to see more of it. But is that at the cost of a song of Ice and Fire? Is that a cost of House of the Dragon? I don't know. And he's always said that, like, once, he in the prior years, he said that, like, between Winds of Winter and Dream of Spring, he wanted to do Duncan Egg stories. I'm like, cool. Sure. But now he said, I think he has, like, there's 19 novels he has for Duncan Egg, practically their whole life spent out. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I don't know, man. I'm very curious to see. The internet is gonna be on fire the day he drops the announcement. Like, all right, winter has arrived, coming soon. Hell, it'd be funny if he drops it in the winter season, the Winds of Winter finally coming out soon, and then how that's gonna be like, finally, and then probably within the hour, people are gonna be like, don't fuck it up, George. We've been waiting 15 years or whenever we do get it. Don't fuck it up, George. And it's just like, how does that feel now? And it's just like, man.
I mean, there's let me see here. He didn't like Dune anymore, and he didn't want to write any more Dune books, Martin says. But he felt locked in by the success of Dune, so he kept writing them. Do you relate to how Herbert felt? George, I'm not necessarily tired of the world of Ice and Fire. I love the world and the world building, but yes, I do. I just don't. I would love to be wrong, but I just don't think I don't think we're getting the book completed.
It's tricky, man. It's tricky because, again,
can I just say a dream of spring is like genuinely one of the most beautiful titles I've ever heard. That's great. I mean, I like Winds of Winter, but A Dream of Spring just when you think of like the dark bite of his storytelling, like that's great, man. Fuck, man. Shit.
Um, I'm gonna tell folks that in the meanwhile, while we wait for those books, you should definitely go watch A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Um, I know for hardcore fans of novels, they've been waiting to see if we might one day get Dunk and Egg. And I'll tell you this: we do get them. Uh, and like I said in my review, it is an adjustment. This show is an adjustment because it's 6 episodes only for season 1, and it's 30 minutes per episode. So it's not an hour, and also it's a different point of view in Westeros. So don't expect big soap opera, political thriller stuff in it. Um, it is a down to earth story that, in some form or manner, eventually tangles with the high families, the rich families, and all that stuff. But it's about this idea of a knight and what does that mean now in peacetime. And I fucking love this series. And as someone who now I'm trying to find out when I can best drop my review on it. But now, after having seen the show, I also read the first novella, The Hedge Knight of Duncan Egg, and it is, in my opinion, it is a faithful adaptation. And I am pumped to consider either continuing on with the books and reading the next one, or wait till season 2, although it might be a long wait. Um, I really don't know how it's tricky. I wonder if you ask the hardcore fans, what would we want to pause on TV shows and just finish the books, or what would we want just to continue with the shows? I don't know how people would feel about that right now, because House of Dragon also has a big fan base. Um, yeah, and again, I feel bad the scenario that George R. Martin and Ryan Condell are at right now, where from what we heard that they had a great partnership for season 1 of House of Dragon, and then something happened in season 2, and a split happened. Um, and from what I've been hearing, George is very happy with A Night of the Seven Kingdoms adaptation, so that's a cool thing to hear. Um, how is he going to feel once a House of Dragon ends? There's a whole other conversation to happen when that comes about. And I don't know. What does this mean for Westeros, Jor-El? Do you think once House of Dragon ends, um, obviously within this interview, we've been hearing all these rumors of like, we might get an Arya Stark show that's being in development. We might get a Jon Snow show that's being in development. We might get a adaptation either as a show or a big epic movie of Aegon the Conqueror when he conquers the world. Are you excited for these other spin-off projects? Are you intrigued? Is there one that calls to you the most, or are you right now like, let's just get to House of Dragon and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
So I guess disclaimer: I have not read the books. I think I bought a couple on Audible, but I haven't listened to them yet. But I haven't read the books, so that really speaks to the power of storytelling from George's pen. So I did want to throw that out there. B, no, not particularly. Personally, like. I feel like they need to just stop. They need to like stop this game of trying to rekindle this energy from like seasons 1 through 7. Because clearly it's not something that you can just replicate on the dime. It clearly just the viewership and the love, people going crazy, it just happened organically. You can't just artificially make that happen, which they're clearly trying their damnedest to do. With these spinoff shows, and like, oh, maybe we could like make this some sequel. It's like, do not make the Game of Thrones sequel. The only goddamn sequel you should make is if some bitch finishes Winds of Winter. Make that. Until then, no, you gonna fuck it up again. So yeah, no, there's not something like particular. I think they should stop. Straight up, I feel like after House of Dragon, whatever this new show is, they should like just pause for a second. And you're HBO. You'll think of other shit to fill the slot, but yeah, I think they just stop straight up. Because you don't want to get in a situation where, because we don't know whether it was a season 3 of House of the Dragon. Is that what's next? Right? It's the third
Yes,
one.
that's
Okay.
in the summer. Yeah.
We don't know if this is going to be something that makes people happy or not. Imagine it doesn't. Imagine like I don't know, like the last 3 episodes people hated for some reason. Big problem.
That's what
And
Justin
people,
Chang was alluding to. Yeah. This
yeah,
shouldn't be the biggest
and
takeaway from the interview. That should be empathy for George, who's having a really rough time. But damn, it's gonna be even more annoying to be a House of the Dragon fan. Again, it's the blessing and the curse of being a writer, and when you have a hit, and it's the hit or one of the hits in the planet.
it's like, of course, I have empathy for him, but in my defense, it was it was an unexpectedly heavy interview. I don't know.
I was what? I was in middle school when Dance of Dragons came out, so
I
I
mean,
don't
I
know.
will say I love that he still seems to have a fighting spirit.
Mhm.
Doesn't want to give up. Is actively thinking of like I want to write this novella or I want to complete this short story or I would like to finish this and that. Like that's great. But man, he just sounds so burnt out. Jesus Christ, Lord. He almost sounds like someone who's like just burnt out and they're not like they're not entirely aware that they are. Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I
I
mean,
hope
what all do they have planned or thinking about officially?
the only thing, well, nothing's official. It's all been rumors and speculation. The only thing that we do know is that they're
Um,
gonna wrap up House of the Dragon, and right now,
right.
season 2 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is being filmed. So that's happening. So there's these two prequels we have right now. Um,
Sure.
my only concern, and I from what I've seen of Game of Thrones, I really like Arya Stark. Uh, I wouldn't
Well,
mind more of Gwendolyn Christie's character, in my opinion. And my only concern, as someone who respects and admires George and this universe, is that I think from what I heard, House of the Dragon now caught up to the books, or what it has been alluded to. Season 2 of A Night Seven Kingdoms is being filmed, so that's the second book right now of Dunk and Egg, and there's a third one. There's at least 3 out right now. So what happens when we get to season 3 and that those books are cut up? Where we're going to be at right like that right now. So I don't know. I think within the next 2 years, there's got to be a big statement being made um, of the franchise for both books and adaptations. Um, and I'm looking forward to it. Again, it's not my immediate thing, but when it does hook me, man, it hooks me. It definitely does hook me. We have Kevin Davis says that, do you think Ryan Coogler, George R. R. Martin will stay at Warner Brothers if Netflix acquires Warner Brothers? I think so. I think so. Again, a lot of that stuff is still being played out in front of us. Um, as long as they don't get messed with as creatives, I'm happy. But we'll see. I think only time will tell once the year ends and either the deal's concluded or the saga continues of like who's going to get Warner Brothers. Uh, Dr. Doom 1116 says, "This is Doom. What is up, my nerdy friends? Hello, Dr. Doom. Movie Talk Now One says, mistake number 1, recasting Millie so early in the show. Who's Millie?
I was just about to say I was the yeah, I don't know.
I don't know who's Millie. Sorry, Movie Talk Now. Same how I was in middle school when Game of Thrones was airing. Yeah. Yo, Doom, Reed Richards sucks. Nice. Agreed, Movie Talk Now. I rolled him into a rubber ball. Hashtag cosplay. Check it out if interested. Cool. Cool. Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I haven't even touched the Song of Ice and Fire books yet. I'm waiting till we have a date set, and then I'm gonna consider whether I should read the books or not. Because people were saying they love the books. Um, and I know that I always, when I go to Barnes and Noble or Target, I always see the pack of the books like stacked in as a collection. So I'm wondering if one day I might even crack them and be like, all right, let's go with it. Let's dive in. Uh,
Sure.
or not Millie Alcock. Oh, Rhaena Targaryen.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh.
I don't see it as a recasting. I just see it as they casted someone else to play the adult version. Because there's the time jump. But I like the time we spend with Millie. And if we get flashbacks of her and when she's younger, when Rhaenyra is younger, I am down to check that out. And season 2, when she came back in a flashback or in like a dream sequence, that was a cool moment. Like, yo. And again, the show introduced me to Millie Alcock, and I am a fan of hers right now. And I'm hoping that she does a good job and knocks it out of the ballpark with Supergirl. What else? By any chance did I miss the Doom talk? Yeah, I think we talked about it for like almost an hour. Yeah, go back and watch once we're done. Go back and watch the first portion of it, and then let people know of our talk about Avengers.
Yeah, we got pretty deep. Yeah, sorry, it just occurred to me. I think on both topics I was more ooh, shit, I might need this, but on both topics I was pretty negative. But in my defense, like, you know, there's so, like, the stakes are so high for George. Like the stakes are so high for the Russos, and like, unfortunately, if we're being realistic, things aren't looking the safest. But you hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope.
What else are we going to talk about? Yeah, again, I'm hopeful that George can and again, he's not gonna be able to please everybody. That's just inevitable, especially with this much time. He's not gonna be able to please everybody. But hopefully, he delivers on those books, and once those books are set, I think he'll have an easier time with the franchise and just get those weight out of it and be like, all right, the books are done. Love them or hate them, if they're done. Now I'm gonna focus on House of Dragon, Fire and Blood, and then the Duncan Egg stories. And I find that cool because, again, I love Duncan Egg, what I've experienced with them thus far. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about, either Avengers Doomsday or George R. R. Martin's Game of Thrones franchise, Jor-El?
No, I don't know. I hope George succeeds. You know, hope the Russo brothers succeed. That would be the optimal future, to say the least. That would be great. Particularly with Avengers Doomsday. I really hope I come out of Doomsday just happy and elated. That'd be great. God, there's I feel like there's something else I wanted to say. Oh, well, there was one tiny thing. At the current time, I'm predicting that Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is the biggest film of the year. That's my prediction. I get that everybody's voting on Doomsday, and I get that it appears to be the obvious choice, but I don't know. That's a sure bet. I don't know. I think I'm going to place my bet in something that's over a millennia's old and still has people, somehow still has people freaking the fuck out even after a millennia. I have a sinking feeling the same age-old story is going to dominate once again.
Okay.
But yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
Folks, we're going to be wrapping up the stream soon. So if you have any more questions or any comments you'd like to for us to address or engage with, please let us know right now. I know Dr. Doom does say, do you all think we're getting the official trailer for Doomsday in February 2026 or a teaser for Brand New Day?
Not the first one.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if we got both, but I think more than ever right now, I think out of those two, Brand New Day needs some marketing push now because it comes out in July. So it needs that push right now. What do you think, Joel? Do you think it's just Spider-Man? Or both?
I mean, you could wait till whenever that Grogu movie, Star Wars movie comes out, and put the brand new day trailer in front of that. That'd probably be the smarter play to try to help out that movie because it's gonna need some help.
Yeah.
But yeah, what the February? That whoa, calm down, Marvel. Go drink a glass of water. Maybe summer. Summer would be way more logical. 11 months, people. 11.
Yeah. Yeah. Movie Talk Now says, do you guys think the X-Men will be the same X-Men that we grew up with in the Fox universe or a parallel version? I asked because Mystique is alive, who was supposed to die in Dark Phoenix. Yeah, first of all, those timelines are convoluted as hell. So that's a gimmick. I think there'll be a parallel version of the Fox universe that we got, but it'll be a cross between the Fox universe films and the comic slash 90s animated series, where they're going to be getting the costumes, and hopefully James Marsden has some good lines and monologues to do, or something of an arc to do, other than just yelling Gene and getting booed by everybody else while Wolverine takes the mantle. I don't know. As long as they just don't allude to anything Dark Phoenix, I'm happy, because they've been doing that Phoenix Saga story to death, and I love that saga. But it's been like, come on now, we're going back to that same well. What do you think, Drill?
God, I don't know, but I will say I think it's so funny that it's like oh yeah, we're gonna say goodbye to these fucking characters again. It's like, goddamn, bro, haven't we been in an active state of saying goodbye to these niggas since like 2017 or maybe like a hair before? Like, holy fuck. Like, we're saying goodbye to them again. Weren't we just saying goodbye to them again in Deadpool Wolverine, or what the fuck was going on in that movie? Yeah. All right, yeah, let's say goodbye again. Shit. That's
Another one.
That's my best response to those questions.
I overall think Doomsday, or well now Doomsday, is going to be a double cool feature. Same. If they play the cards right, it'll be a hell of a double feature. And who knows, maybe Doomsday and Barbenheimer might have a cool banter leading up to it. Be like, Margot Robbie, Ken Murphy, talk shit about us. Or, let's talk shit about Barbenheimer. It'd be fun.
First off, it's not going to be better than Barbenheimer. Second off, personally, I mean, I get they're not coming on the same day, but like, I think they're coming out like super close to each other. But either way, I'm more interested in the Odyssey and Brand New Day double feature. More interested in that. You know how fucking insane that's gonna be? Good lord. Imagine trying to like time that out in a given day. Good god.
I want a Mando and Grogu and Supergirl double feature. That's what I want.
I'm actually about to check the release dates. I think they come out like within 2 or 4 weeks of each other. Something
I thought they were
like
coming out the same day. I thought that's why they were doing that. I could be wrong. Says, I think we're getting the younger versions of the X-Men and Secret Wars 2027. Everybody going to be in that movie, and hopefully Jean transfers her Phoenix powers, Doomsday to Cyclops. Man, oh man.
Okay, so the Odyssey comes out July 17th, and Brand New Day comes out July 31st.
That's right. Brand New Day comes out after Comic-Con, which I'm wondering if they're going to do anything for that at San Diego. So.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, the Marvel's in a pretty gluttonous mood, so probably. They need to steal as many souls as they can to keep living.
Yeah. We might, what we should do potentially. I don't know how I'm going to be that weekend. Ooh, look at this brand new Odyssey.
Brand new. I have been trying to coin a term for that. It started sounding dangerous because it started sounding like Spudacy, like some kind of spider vagina or something. I don't know. This is sounding a little dangerous, but Brand New Odyssey, I kind of like that. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like that. It really will be a brand new Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
I think we might be able to do one of these streams again for when the Super Bowl happens and talk about if any they're gonna drop some trailers, but if any worth talking trailers are gonna be out, and how we're gonna feel about if any of the franchise that we talked about might be there. Personally, I need at least one more Mando and Grogu trailer, and I need at least the first teaser trailer to the Cliff Booth movie. I want that. I need that. I need to.
I haven't even begun to think about the Cliff Booth film. You already know what I think about the Grogu movie. I think they're fucking crazy. I think they made a mistake. You made a mistake, Star Wars. Made a mistake. What's wrong with them? All these years, the movie they decided to come back with. Hey, guess what we got, guys? What's it been 6 years or something since?
It's been 7 years.
7 years. Hey guys, guess what we got? 7 years later, a Grogu movie.
I'm pumped.
What are you nuts, Star Wars? Would you guys fall asleep over there? Were you dumb? How many seasons have there been of Mando? 4 seasons?
3.
So they're just dumb. Fair enough.
That's my friend. Folks, thank you for so much taking the time to hang out with us in this stream. Jor-El, thanks, man. We did it. We finally talked about it.
Yes, finally. I've been wanting to talk about this
since Tuesday.
So I've been having all this data about Doomsday stuck in my head, and I got to vomit it out.
Dr. Doom, I did cover that in one of my videos and one of my shorts. You can go watch on my channel. But Jor-El, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me. Please plug yourself. Let people know what they can find you, and tell them if you got anything cool upcoming.
Oh God, yeah, you can find me at Jor-El's Alexandria, as it is on the screen here. That's my main hub on YouTube, and main hub for all of my content, art, reviews, reactions, stuff like that. And you can find more of me there.
Beautiful. Folks, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it, let people know the word out. If you are a Star Wars fan, if you're a Marvel, DC, Invincible, Last of Us fan, what else? Anime fan, movies, shows, come subscribe to both our channels. I just did a video talking about the Captain Kennedy news and what that has meant for Star Wars. And the future of Lucasfilm that you can go check out. I just dropped a review for All You Need Is Kill, an anime that we just watched. That was bonkers, and my favorite film of the year thus far. But the year is young. And what else? We have the reactions to all the teasers that's been coming out. If something does come out on Tuesday, I will cover it. And then come Super Bowl weekend, something does drop, we'll have it on for you. But yeah, folks, as more time goes by and the numbers go on this channel and the more subscribers I go, again, I want to reach the 100K and then pass it, because I want that plaque, and then I want to be able to make this a fuller time job. And the more I can get paid to do this stuff and have fun, the more I can even set a schedule aside from my personal life and be like, all right, on so-and-so day, people like Jor-El and others that you saw here, like maybe Darren and Chainsaw, Saturday and Sundays. Saturdays are Saturday morning cartoons, and then Sundays we get to do anime talk. We talk about anime and manga. And then, hell, if my channel blows up and grows more, and I can start making this a living, I can pull a swindle move one day and be like, Jor-El, I'm gonna fly out to your city in 12 hours. Get your shit together. We're gonna go eat, and then we're gonna go hit up Barnes & Noble and like take all the Criterion collection, and then we're just gonna have like a marathon of cinema at some place and whatnot. So I have a lot of crazy ideas I want to do, folks, between vlogging, streams, reaction, podcasting. I've alluded to something with Jor-El about the Last of Us podcast that we have that we do that I've been wanting to do for a while. So please tune in, check it out. Hopefully you spread the word out, and as always, take care. Thank you so much, and have a good night.